Chapter 5. When you live protected by branches and leaves, you favor privacy. Unexpected visitors might even make you edgy. In our case, unexpected visitors often mean the electricity company wants a check or a repo man wants to take Toivo's truck because he hasn't paid the bills. Once, a visitor on an early morning a lot like this one turned into a sheriff standing on our stoop, gesturing Toivo outside, putting his arm around Toivo's shoulders, and whispering to him quietly as he looked back toward me and Mikko and Alexei. "Who is it?" I asked Toivo. He shushes me. There's a knock on the door. It reminds me of that sheriff's knock on the door, the one that led to the news that brought Toivo to his knees. Toivo puts one hand over each of the boys' mouths. "Shh," he says. "Get down." I crouch on the kitchen floor next to where Toivo and the boys are slouched. "Who are we hiding from?" I whisper. "Hello," comes a woman's voice from behind the door. Rap, rap, rap. "Mr. Heikkinen." Our door is so thin that we can hear her muttering to herself. "Now, where did I put that paper?" she says. Then she yells through the door, "Mr. Toivo?" We can hear papers fluttering and more mumbling. "What kind of name is that?" she says. "Which of these is even his first name?" Now she's speaking up again. "Mr. Toivo Heikkinen, are you in there? Mr. Heikkinen Toivo? I know this is unexpected, but I had another case just up the road, and I've been trying to catch you at home for so long, so I thought I'd stop by." We hear sounds like a briefcase latch unsnapping. "Let me see here," she says to herself. "I know it's here somewhere." Rap, rap, rap. "It's Miss Tassel, Mr. Toivo. The court has appointed me to your case, and we need to schedule the home inspection." She drops something that lands with a thud on the porch. "Oh, shoot." Another thud of something dropping. "For crying out loud, I'm wearing 2 different shoes," she mumbles. Toivo rolls his eyes. The boys put their own hands over Toivo's hands, which are still covering their mouths. Their wild eyes are watering with laughter. "Okay, then," she calls. There's more shuffling and scratching, and a business card slips under the crack in the door. Nobody moves to get it. The clack, click, clack, click of her mismatched shoes takes her back to her car. We creep up to the window and peer out. Miss Tassel is short, but she has at least a foot of hair curling off her head. She opens the passenger side of her tan Caprice Classic. Papers and plastic coffee cups fall out onto the ground. She throws in her briefcase and quickly gathers up the trash and tosses it back into the car before she gets in. When she turns the ignition, the car goes click and tick, and then gets quiet. "Starter's bad," says Toivo to us. He chews on the corner of his thumbnail. She tries again. Tick, tick, tick. Miss Tassel smacks the dashboard with her bare hand. "That's not going to help," Toivo tells us. Almost as if she's heard Toivo, Miss Tassel leans back in her seat and crosses herself, then presses her hands together in prayer. She closes her eyes and moves her lips. "That's not going to help either," I say. "You got that right," says Toivo. Miss Tassel rolls down the window to listen to the engine as she turns the ignition key. She's clenching the steering wheel and standing on the accelerator. "Come on, help me, Jesus, come on, come on." Mikko and Alexei are laughing full on now. "Good grief," says Toivo. He stands up. "Grab my hammer, Mikko," he says. "Yay," screams Mikko, and he dashes off to grab the hammer out of Toivo's tool bag, which rests next to the couch. "Are we going to break her windows?" shouts Alexei. "No," scolds Toivo. "Her bumper?" asks Mikko. He hands the hammer to Toivo and looks up at him with hopeful eyes. Toivo runs his hand through his thin hair. "Boys, I'm going to fix her car, not wreck it." Toivo used to work as a mechanic at the motor company before the factory closed up, and a lot of people in town lost their jobs. He squeezes my shoulder. "I guess the jig is up." "I guess the jig is up, Fernie. Finish getting the boys ready for school." Before you know it, Toivo has shimmied under the front of Miss Tassel's car to give the starter a whack. Before I close the door, Mikko sniffs. "Smells like smoke out there," he says. I smell it too, and suddenly my heart drops. "What did Miss Tassel say?" I asked the boys. "Did she say something about being just up the road?" The boys ignore me while they stuff their feet into their shoes. Alexei's big toe sticks out of a hole in his. "Hurry up, you guys," I say. "Let's go." I weave their arms through the straps of their backpacks and shove them out the door. Miss Tassel stands near the bumper of her car. Toivo's legs stick out from underneath it. "Hi, kids." She's got a great big smile on that looks sincere but makes me nervous. Hi, I say. On your way to school? She asks. She crosses her arms, then uncrosses them. Maybe she is nervous, too. Yeah, but we gotta go pick up our neighbors first, I say. Her smile tightens. She points up the road with long pink fingernails. You mean those children who live over there? In the direction she's pointing, thin strands of black smoke curl in the dusty pink sky. Mark, Richard, and Gary, I say? Yeah. Toivo slivers out from underneath the car. That should do it, he says. Miss Tassel moves out of Toivo's way. The kids aren't there this morning. I just came from there. The smoke. She hesitates. What, says Toivo. What is it? Miss Tassel leans over and whispers to Toivo. It's from their house. Mark Richard, I ask, is he okay? Miss Tassel puffs her cheeks. I shouldn't have told you that, but yes, everyone is fine. The boys got out of the house without getting hurt. Toivo wipes gravel off his jeans. I should get over there and lend a hand, he says. No one's there, said Miss Tassel. I just stopped over to see if I could salvage some of the kids' things and get some comfort items to them. Where, I say. Where are they? Miss Tassel moves gravel around with the tip of her shoe. You're going to have to talk with Mark Richard, I'm afraid, she says. I can't tell you that. But when, I ask. Today? No, she says, not today. Did you take him and Gary away from their parents? Fern, Toivo warns. Did you, I demand, more loudly than I intended. Miss Tassel tilts her head the way adults sometimes do when they're telling kids they don't want to hear. It's complicated, Fern, she says. I start down the driveway. Come on, boys, I shout to Miko and Alexei. They listen, for once, and follow behind me. Both boys stare lightning and axes and hot lava at Miss Tassel. We don't want you to come here anymore, I add, and I start running, with the boys keeping pace. We keep running toward Mark Richard's house. After a while, Alexei calls out, Fern, slow down. He sits in the middle of the road, forcing me to slow down, and then stop. Come on, I walk back toward him. Up. You can't sit here. You'll get hit by a truck. My legs feel like licorice, he says. Why are we running away from that lady? Is she bad? She's a witch, said Miko. She took Mark Richard and Gary away. Now we can't be friends with them anymore. I pull Alexei to his feet and dust him off. They'll be back, I say, but I'm not sure that they will. All is completely still and quiet. No wild turkeys, coyotes, wild-tailed deer, spiky porcupines, corn snakes, or any other woodsy creatures. The silence is eerie, as if everything is hiding and holding its breath. The smoke gets denser the closer we get. Boys walk next to me. I pull them by their backpacks to either side of my body. Miko twists and fights. Knock it off, Fern. Shh, I hush him. Listen. Listen to the woods. Miko cups a hand around his ear, and Alexei pauses. I don't hear anything, Alexei says. I know, I say. It's weird. Maybe the fire scared all the animals away, says Miko. I shrug my shoulders. Yeah, maybe.